This is the Veratron 470. The newest, hottest piece of equipment in potato harvesting. It's a self-propelled harvester, meaning there's no other vehicle required. One of the most advanced potato harvesters ever made. It can collect more, faster, and with better precision.
This machine was $1.2 million. And I was way more excited to buy this Veratron than anything else I could buy in the world. If I had the choice between a $1.2 million home or a $1.2 million harvester, unfortunately for my wife, I was choosing the harvester.
The Grimme Veritron 470 is a 27.5-ton German beast. A product of over a decade in engineering evolution, it boasts a 460 horsepower Mercedes-Benz engine and a cockpit-like operating station with customizable functions and limitless controls.
Our other harvesters were quite overdue. They were 2002s, so we gained about 23 years of technology advancement, which is quite a bit. So right up here, so this is called a topper. This is the part of the machine which is gonna top all the heads, the top of the plants. It shoots them out the side.
Think of the topper as the potato lawnmower. It cuts the green leafy part of the potato before the potatoes are dug up, which stops vines from clogging the machine. Then hydraulically powered coulters, giant cutting discs, cut vines along the rows of potatoes. The intake unit is the digger of the machine. It grabs into the soil to pull the potato out of the soil. This is the part where potatoes can end up bruised if a machine isn't delicate enough. The Veratron surgically handles the potatoes to avoid any damage and gently handles each potato like it's made of glass.
The fact that this machine is fully adjustable, you're able to really fine-tune the harvester to be as fragile as you want on your potatoes.
The Veratron is equipped with a series of webs and a multi-sep, or separation, cleaning table that filter out soil and other natural debris while the potatoes ride along. They get rid of as much dirt and leaves from the potatoes as possible.
After that, it falls onto another belt. This is called the hedgehog. This hedgehog spins opposite to the direction the potatoes are going, so the potatoes fall on it and bounce down. This takes most of the vines, you can see up here, gets caught in this rubber. So if there's anything that the multi-sep didn't get, this hedgehog is supposed to try to catch the rest of it. Once they come off this hedgehog, they're going on this ring elevator here. So this is bringing the potatoes right to the top of the machine.
Then you've got the elevator, which acts as the delivery courier, taking the spuds up to the top of the machine and cleaning them along the way. From there, potatoes make their way across a conveyor into the 7.5-ton bunker. The storage unit is bigger than most, so it means that farmers don't have to stop so often to empty it out. Then, you've got your non-stop bunker, or boom, to load onto the trucks.
There's nice cameras so that you have a good view. And it can unload 7.5 ton in about 30 seconds. So very, very quick. The big selling feature on the Veratron for me was the bunker. The bunker makes things a lot more efficient in the field. With the old pull type harvesters that we were running before, we always needed a truck beside us.
From the cab, Justin controls this potato harvester like he's piloting a fighter jet plane. There's a button for everything, and customizable functions with limitless controls and the ability to make your harvester exactly what you want it to be.
It's quite intimidating to operate at first. There's a lot of buttons. But I'm sitting in the cab there and I have the manual on my lap and I'm reading these different pages about, okay, like what does this do? And what if I go up with this?
The Veratron is a beast that is changing the face of potato farming. It's unique, not just because of its fire truck red paint job. The Veratron harvests at double the speed of its counterparts.
The statistics that I'm projecting for this harvester is about 3 to 5 acres per hour of harvesting, depending obviously on those other factors. We should be harvesting anywhere from 120,000 pounds of potatoes per hour. Without the Veratron, we were probably doing 60,000 pounds an hour to 90,000 pounds an hour.
A second benefit is that the harvester is self-propelled. It only requires one operator and one machine. It doesn't need to be pulled behind a tractor. It doesn't require a windrower in the field. And it doesn't require a truck running next to it to collect the spuds. You just need one machine and one Justin.
Potatoes farmers face a lot of different challenges in a lot of different areas. They're all very important. But the big one that we've struggled with is labor. Finding operators and finding people who are willing to work the hours that it takes to farm. Those are long hours, weekends, nights. So labor is definitely a big issue that we struggle with. The big advantages to this machine is you just require one operator in the field. You can harvest potatoes by yourself. You're reducing a tractor and a piece of equipment in the field. And then you're also reducing the tractor from the harvester since it's self-propelled. You're also able to harvest quicker.
Something you probably don't think about much in everyday life is bruised potatoes. For a farmer, bruised potatoes cause a hefty amount of headache and worry. A bruised potato means less yield from the harvest with the same amount of man and machine power. A bruised potato won't pass quality control, and therefore, Justin and the valley growers will lose out on payment for them.
The reason the machine has to be delicate with the potatoes is we sell fresh market potatoes. We grow roughly 18 million pounds of potatoes each year. So if we can save just 0.1% of those potatoes by bruising them slightly less, that makes a big difference in the numbers at the end of the year.
And finally, the Veratron allows Justin to utilize more of his land. Land that the farm's previous owner, Justin's grandfather, was unable to penetrate. But because of the Veratron's large size and weight, What was once unusable wasteland is now productive acreage.
There's certain fields that my grandfather had told me that he had planted once and never again because he couldn't harvest them. So I went ahead and I planted those fields this year. The Veratron has the capabilities of harvesting them. So with the fields that we already owned, we were able to gain almost 100 acres of land that we were able to put into potato production, which is great land because it hasn't been farmed with potatoes and the organic matter levels are good.
Increasing demand and the constant threat of disease and pests mean Justin and his family's livelihood is dependent on his innovation and competitiveness in an ever-changing market. Just this year, potato growers in Ontario are testing new biostimulants to increase harvest yield, and new technology is always being released. The work is never finished on staying ahead of the curve.
There's definitely a lot at stake when you're making these big financial decisions on whether or not you should be purchasing different equipment. But in order to stay competitive and to stay cost effective, you have to stay up with the technology and stay up to date. Yeah, so here, these are the potatoes that we just harvested from the field. Now they're gonna go, this is the starting point of our wash line. So we're getting them on this belt and they're gonna get dunked into the washer. So now we're at the stage where the potatoes have been washed. So this machine will run 15 tons of potato per hour. It sizes them, and it also grades them based on different diseases. So it actually takes 30 pictures of every potato as it's going by. And then at this area, all the good potatoes are heading that way, and then the cull is getting sent that way and outside. There's definitely a lot of pressure when it comes to being a potato grower. You need to make sure that you have a crop coming out of the ground. And it can definitely set you back if you pull out a really bad crop. So there's definitely a lot of pressure there to make sure that you're staying up to date with your spraying and that you're scouting and that any disease that you have in your fields, you're catching it early. You want to do the best you can to make sure that you pull out a good quality potato crop because your life depends on it pretty much.